Hello and welcome to Lunchtime News. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has asked African countries to unite and advocate for reforms in the global financial architecture, including cancellation of debts imposed by multinationals. The Prime Minister was addressing the 10th Africa Regional Forum on Sustainable Development that's being held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
In partnership with African Union.
That is happening.
The Africa Regional Forum for Sustainable Development is an annual event organized by UNECA in partnership with African Union, African Development and United Nations Family to reflect on Africa's progress of sustainable development. The event also provides an opportunity to prepare African countries, especially those preparing voluntary national review reports, to review preparedness and to develop a regional position on key issues like unemployment, climate change, and global security, among others, to be presented at the high-level political forum in July in New York. Addressing the forum, the Prime Minister noted that the forum has been organized at a critical time following the launch of the 10-year implementation plan of 2063 of the Africa We Want and the adoption of the national commitments for SDG acceleration and transformation adopted during the SDG summit in September 2023. Speaking about the debt burden African countries are facing, the Prime Minister said, "We must stop being followers in the global discussion, but rather innovators and solution providers to many of our African challenges."
Define our priorities that favor acceleration of growth for African countries by maintaining unity and solidarity. For example, in order to achieve global affluence, we must get rid of exploitative phenomenon of commercial lending.
She also said African countries should set clear priorities that favor acceleration of growth of the African countries by maintaining unity and solidarity to avoid exploitative commercial lending. The Prime Minister said commercial lending must be concessional, long-term and with low interest rates to finance long-term projects in infrastructure, manufacturing and education.
Exploitative debts should be cancelled. They should cancel these debts. And this should be an awakening call.
She reminded African leaders to remain focused on regional trade through the African Continental Free Trade Area because it has the potential to spur regional and national developments.
We must take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is approximately 1.4 billion people. The East African Community, COMESA, ECOWAS, and to stop exporting raw materials but add value to our materials and agricultural products.
The Executive Secretary for the UN Economic Commission for Africa, Mr. Cleve Gatete, said African countries can no longer do business as usual. He said UN has identified key investment pathways for SDGs delivery, including strengthening food systems, digital connectivity, education, jobs and social protection, climate change, biodiversity and pollution.
Only 2 countries with investment grade ratings, high-risk premiums that cost the continent up to $75 billion and the climate challenges that reduce budgets by up to 5% of GDP on an annual basis. Yet Africa's infrastructure and climate change needs are estimated to cost between 68 billion and 108 billion annually in US dollars.
The Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ms. Amina J. Mohamed, highlighted that the African continent has been hit by the global shocks due to COVID-19, coupled by conflicts and instability that are causing untold suffering and hence jeopardizing African Union goals and the SDGs.
It is squeezing the economies on this continent dry, leaving very little fiscal space or nothing to invest in sustainable development, often at the expense of education and health services. Developing economies are exacerbated by what we would say is a new bad norm of low investment, low growth, and stalled progress on the Sustainable Development Goals.
This year, Uganda is scheduled to present her third voluntary national review report to be presented in July 2024. The preparation processes are being coordinated by the SDG Secretariat, Office of the Prime Minister.
Now, the International Director for Africa, Engineer Dr. Ahmed Salem, has arrived in Uganda to attend the 21st Multiple District Convention taking place in Entebbe. On arrival at Entebbe International Airport, Dr. Ahmed was received by the Lions Clubs of Uganda members, led by the District Governor for 1B, Dr. Bukire Stanley. The chairperson organizing the committee of the Lions Club Multiple District Convention, Engineer Dr. Dans Nturinda, disclosed that Dr. Ahmed is expected to visit a number of projects funded by the Lions Club's International Foundation in Uganda, that is worth $5 million. The week-long convention that has attracted over 1,000 delegates begins this Wednesday and closes on Sunday.
Very good. So, first of all, I want to thank you for accepting our invitation to come for our MD convention. We're excited to receive you today. You are very warmly welcome to the Power of Africa.
You are all welcome. This is the entry point to the Power of Africa, and for the next 3 to 4 days, we will be actually in the city of Entebbe, and I can assure you it is a lot on the menu. Let's wait and see.
Exceptionally, I am very proud and very excited. Hanem and I are very excited to be here with you in Uganda, in Entebbe, to join the great lines of Entebbe, of Uganda. And I know that we will spend a marvelous time with you. Thank you so much for welcoming us, and thank you for everything.
One, cut! Very good.
So when we shared, they got excited to come and welcome you here. You see how they express their happiness, and they are very good friends to us. So from here we shall be heading to our children's park, where we have the activity of the site. We have our site camp there. It's a health camp with other health issues. So we shall pass there, then briefly, then we proceed to where we are going to plant our trees. It's a forest that we are making over about 500 trees. So
this convention involves 6 countries of East Africa and neighboring countries, as well as Egypt. We have received our chief guest, who is our international director coming from Egypt. He's called Engineer Dr. Ahmed Salem. He's visiting us, first of all, to open our convention, but also to visit the many projects that are being funded by our international foundation in Uganda. We have big projects of sight, childhood cancer in Murago. We have projects of sight which are taking place in Eastern Uganda, and diabetes, and many others. So those projects have been funded by LCIF, our foundation, to a tune of over $5 million, and is here representing the foundation to visit those projects and see how they are doing, and also meet with all the lions from Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Seychelles, and we discuss and chart a way forward to make lives better for many Ugandans who are in need of our services.
All right, now Kasese district is currently witnessing significant infrastructural developments, reshaping its landscape and enhancing operational efficiency within the town. Residents are expressing their appreciation for these improvements, which have facilitated smooth operations day and night, signifying a promising future for the town.
Kasese district, situated in western Uganda, stands out as one of the rapidly evolving towns experiencing substantial development initiatives. These initiatives encompass the construction of roads and infrastructure aimed at boosting the town's appeal and supporting economic growth. The World Bank contributed over 50 billion shillings towards the enhancement of road infrastructure, resulting in the construction of approximately 10 kilometers of roads, driveways, walkways, street lighting, and drainage systems.
When we came on the program, we were given a network of 15 kilometers for the start. We have worked on 6 out of 15. So we still have 9 as per the original plan at that level. We have a very long network of roads within the town. Hima Katung Road was worked on under UNRWA, and we were also given 4 kilometers of the road within the central business district. So as I speak now, we have 10 kilometers of paved roads within the town at that level. And of course, when you look at 10 kilometers, that is a very long network within town that has changed the state and status of the town.
The municipal council spearheaded these developments, starting with the central business area and planning extensions to the outskirts. The transport sector has witnessed a remarkable improvement, facilitating seamless movement within the town, both during the day and at night.
Amakubo gali bubi okusooka naye kati amakubo malungi bwe twali tufunira omuddo n'ebinnya tukyafunawo amataala tuyinza tulaba n'amataala bagataddemu tukola mpaka kumaca kati tuli bulungi.
And I think we are going to see accidents reducing on these roads because they are well planned compared to the roads we had. They are a bit wider compared to the roads we had.
The buses plying Kampala Kasese are also on the increase. The first bus that leaves Kasese goes at 4 a.m. in the morning. But the last bus will arrive anytime at night because the town is secure. And the people not even stay in the buses. They get out of the buses and go to the different places of the town.
Consequently, the night economy is flourishing, with increased operational hours on the streets contributing to heightened incomes for residents.
Oruguto rwitu barubonize munonga batuhereze bitara ebirukwaka kutandikana saha emwe nkaho so ntura turije twine kuguma kumanya ngu business na wabo kinjiro tariho security neberya higuru kandi otine kwerarikira nisima government na munonga bwenkurakuranezi yeturetiro muri Kasese nka street yitu eya Mukirane street ninaho business ya dipo nindeba bo kukora ruguto entunguke genzuro misho ba customers nibiza tibine nshonga ntukore sente nturanturgo mu idara ntuzo murindi.
There is lighting and everybody is now ready to go because the streets where especially people are operating bars, hotels and whatever, they are now booming and business has increased. What does this mean? People who are dealing in Muchomo, people who are dealing in the merchandise, people who are dealing in selling food in the hotels, people who are dealing in the selling beers and other drinks are enjoying and they are getting money.
I think people should now be innovative to see that they put in place businesses which can work transnight. Like those people who are dealing in the supermarkets, let them have the supermarkets operate the whole night. Because sometimes you go on a busy street like Stanley Street and you meet only bars which are open, but supermarkets have closed. Yet there are some people who may need to buy sugar and other things when they are clocking out at around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
In a bid to ensure proper sanitation and cleanliness, the municipal leadership is contemplating a well-organized waste disposal mechanism.
They have moved an extra mile to sensitize the community such that the people can also work with the private sector where the people will come with trucks at a minimal cost being paid by landlords who own premises within the town.
Efforts are underway to address the plight of street children, aiming to reunite them with their families and mitigate the dangers they face on Kasese streets, often stemming from domestic violence within households.
We cannot take them to prison because the prisons which you have in Kasese cannot manage juveniles. Two, even if you take them there, they can be even hardcore criminals. So what we do is reunite them with their families. But it's a big problem along the streets, and they are actually among the major cause of littering in town, because when you look at the dustbins in town at night, they pour the poor, the Kasese, to look for what to eat.
Furthermore, leveraging the backbone infrastructure established by NITAYU in Kasese municipality, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance plans to provide free internet access to the community through hotspots and Wi-Fi. Ivan Kahwa and Tony Kent Chaze, UBC News.
The Ministry of Education and Sports wants school managers to respect the designed national curriculum and associated co-curriculum activities. While addressing the country on the forthcoming International Day of Play in Schools, State Minister for Primary Education Joyce Moriku Kaduchu hinted on the stiff competition for academic excellence in schools, which limits designated time for play. Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Play in Schools on the 30th of April.
And I'm so anxious waiting for that time. So ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Education and Sports is raising awareness about the importance of play as a vehicle to facilitate the learning process of our children. We are also informing the general public about the milestones so far we've registered as far as learning through play is concerned. Play is essential, it's very critical in the development of a child because it contributes to their cognitive, physical, social, emotional well-being of our children and our youth. Play also offers an ideal opportunity for parents to engage fully with their children. Play acts as a potent vehicle for children's learning, development, and psychosocial being. Number 3, play can unlock potential across various stages for education and in parenting, fostering resilience, and aiding recovery after trauma. We want to appeal to school administrators to provide training for teachers on how to leverage play as an enriching approach to children's learning. And also schools to provide playground for children to be able to implement this strategy.
The power of play can truly unlock a child's full potential and support their development in all areas of their life, including health, language, learning, life skills, psychosocial well-being for future success, so for now and for later. Play also instills confidence. It allows children to learn how to communicate and to collaborate with each other, building confidence. Play also opens a world of possibilities. Play shows children how to navigate through life, to explore, and it also unlocks positive potential. Play essentially taps into the natural inclinations of children, their curiosity, teaching them to
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
After the massive launch of the Museveni Awoma hit song in Kololo, Mukono, Nabweru Wakiso District and Masulita War Zone, Munamasa Kansereko Emma takes Museveni Awoma to Mityana on Friday, the 26th of April 2024 at Mityana Saza Ground. We shall start with Bulungi Wansi, a health camp, and then a boom of entertainment with thousands of comedians and artists, all at a free entry. Anti-Jaja Gabude, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be our chief guest. Come, let's have fun with Jaja. Don't miss.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka slips. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
On the international scene, after years of political wrangling and court battles, British lawmakers passed legislation on Monday, which the government hopes will allow it to deport asylum seekers arriving in small boats across the English Channel to Rwanda for processing. The dangers of the migrant crossings were, however, underlined just hours after the law was passed.
Off the French coast Tuesday morning. French authorities say 112 people were on board.
Et malgré cette situation complexe et délicate,
despite this complex and delicate situation, 57 people who were still in the inflatable boat remained on board. Not willing to be rescued, they managed to restart the engine and decided to continue their sea route towards Britain.
vers la Grande-Bretagne.
Such is the determination of migrants to reach Britain. Over 6,300 people have made the journey in small boats so far this year. The tragedy came just hours after British lawmakers passed legislation aiming to send to Rwanda all asylum seekers arriving across the English Channel. Migrants would be processed in Rwanda and have no right to return to Britain, even those granted refugee status. The legislation effectively orders the courts to ignore existing British laws or international treaties that could block the deportations. It's not yet clear if further legal challenges could delay the flights. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said the prospect of being sent thousands of kilometres away to Rwanda will deter migrants from making the journey to Britain.
The first flight will leave in 10 to 12 weeks. Now, of course, that is later than we wanted, but we have always been clear that processing will take time.
The government argues the policy is moral, as it aims to end the dangerous journeys operated by people smugglers. But the United Nations called for Britain to rethink the legislation.
By shifting the responsibility for refugees, reducing the UK court's ability to scrutinise removal decisions, restricting access to legal remedies in the UK, and limiting the scope of domestic and international human rights protections for a specific group of people.
And artificial intelligence surrounds U.S. political life, from fundraising to campaign advertising. Some lawmakers are looking to better police the use of generative content in this year's presidential election, as they say it threatens voter confidence in what is real.
A call from a voice sounding like Joe Biden telling them not to vote.
Voting this Tuesday only enables the Republicans in their quest to elect Donald Trump again.
The fake voice was made by Louisiana magician Paul Carpenter for $150.
If anybody's looking for some kind of flag, not a false flag, but like a flag, a gameplay flag where something bad happened, and I'm the flag.
U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal says there's no time to wait for another flag.
disinformation and deepfakes are about to descend on the American public. The form of their arrival will be political ads and other forms of disinformation that are made possible by artificial intelligence. There is a clear and present danger to our democracy.
At a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on AI in this election last week, Senator Josh Hawley said it's time to act.
The dangers of this technology without guardrails and without safety features are becoming painfully apparent. And I think the question now is that are we going to have to watch some catastrophe unfold?
It's already possible to detect calls like the one in New Hampshire, says artificial voice generation developer Zilhaib Ahmed.
We believe that AI watermarking technology is a readily available solution that can already check the integrity of audio content.
With that technology in place, what's lacking is regulation, says deepfake detection entrepreneur Ben Coleman.
There's a really nice framework in both national and also state level regulations in the space. When you upload something on, for example, YouTube, it's checking for a few things. It's checking for violence, it's checking for underage imagery, it's checking for, are you uploading the latest Drake song? That's because of regulations. So to scan for generative media would just be another check within that same flow.
The U.S. Federal Election Commission is considering rules.
And in sports, Arsenal moved 3 points clear at the top of the Premier League and made a potentially significant improvement to their goal difference with a crashing victory over Chelsea at Emirates Stadium. The Gunners backed up their win at Wolverhampton Wanderers with an emphatic performance, helped by a dreadful display from a Chelsea side that looked like they wanted the season to end now after their FA Cup semi-final defeat by Manchester City.
Short, gets it back from Odegaard. There's Rice again. And it's turned home by Ben White. And Havertz is away through the middle, played in by Odegaard, finishes clinically. It's 3-0 Arsenal. And Emirates Stadium erupts. Arsenal, with so much space every time they come forward. Here's Saka. Now Havertz. It's an excellent finish, it really is. Kai Havertz has scored twice against his former club. Bringing it to Correa, going inside, finding Odegaard. That's another excellent ball to White. And it nestles in the top corner. It's just getting better and better.
Well, that does it for Lunchtime News. Thank you for sticking with us. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Colleagues, I want to welcome you to
Right Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, why are they not there when people are vulnerable and helpless?
Right Honorable Speaker.
So is the Honorable Mbwa in order? I'm so happy that the Honorable Minister was denied access.
But is it in order, Mr. Speaker, for the Honorable Member to attack someone who served diligently?
It is a collective responsibility.
Now for one to come in this floor of Parliament and use this platform
and impute.
You need to apologize.
Be amazed the hidden treasure in a woman of substance.
As for still, father buys me the first car, a brand new.
Their experiences.
Yeah, they would bully my eyes. They were so big, I was so skinny, I was so tall.
And into the women they've become. Be inspired by their transformation and their stories.
I had to take Mama Nakaunde and Dr. Bossa at home.
Super Soul Sisters, only on UBC TV.
International Labour Day is celebrated every year on 1st May. This day is commemorated in appreciation of the contribution of workers to national development. It is also used to raise consciousness on the importance of promoting and protecting the rights of workers. This year, the national celebrations will be held at Mukabura Grounds, Fort Portal City, under the theme Improving Access to Labour Justice, a prerequisite for increased productivity. Join us on Wednesday, 1st May, as we bring you the celebrations live on UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My name is Damali Sali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected. And today I host David Masanso, who is the founder of Crossroads Multimedia Productions, and he's going to tell us all about it. David, you're very welcome.
Thank you, Damari. I'm David Masanso, the founder of Crossroads Digital Multimedia. Crossroads is an animation studio here in Uganda. We have been in operation for the last 12, we are marking our 12th year this year. We are a team of around 60 animators.
60?
Yeah, 60.
Wow. That's a lot.
Really, a lot. And yeah, the team has been growing. Myself as David, I studied animation. I did my first degree in multimedia in Buckinghamshire University in UK, and I did a degree in animation in Swansea University, also that's UK. And I worked in animation studios for a good 6-7 years before I came back to Uganda to start Crossroads. So Crossroads, where we are solving the lack of African local content.
Yes.
Which also have been associated with the lack of skills.
Yeah.
So this is our service.
So you're trying to tackle the two biggest problems?
The two biggest problems.
Okay.
Yes.
So are you in production?
We're in production. Crossroads for the last 12 years, we have been doing a lot of projects. We have worked with SAID, World Health. In 2017, we started. So in 2017, the idea was how do we scale the animation business? So we worked on a prototype for a children TV series. It's a local children TV series.
What is it called?
It's called Mukago.
Mukago
series. So we worked on the prototype, and after working on the prototype, we had to go into looking for investors.
Yeah.
So we picked the product allowance. So by 2020, we got a seed.
Nice.
For the production, but so the seed also was for scaling. So, and also in 2019, that was 2019 we got the first seed, and 2020 we got the second seed as an organization. But before the seed also we had a help. For example, 2018, Disney sponsored 2 girls from Crossroads,
nice.
which went for the training. It was part of the scaling.
Yeah.
And 2019 also we had another sponsorship.
Okay.
So we have been helped by partnership with development partners and studios where it's to work.
That's helpful.